Warning.
Watch very closely now. 3, 2, 1. Bzow! Check that out.
The following podcast features terrible jokes.
Did you know you can use Hot Wheels cars when you need to make a saving throw in D&D? Every car is die-cast.
Usually about board games.
We want the fun. Gotta have that fun.
Must insist that no one attempt to recreate any joke performed on this podcast.
We had less technical issues than $1 million company.
All right!
This is Boards and Swords.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Boards and Swords. This is a podcast featuring bad jokes, good folks, and some tabletop games. Who am I? I'm one of your hosts. My name's Chris Renshaw. I'm going to pass it to that guy over there. It's Mr. Phil Herbig.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Monday. Normally in the past, this was a travel day.
Yeah. Once upon a time.
Not this year. Once upon a.
Then we learned.
Once upon a dream.
Then the group downsized to the point to where it was easier just to fly, and then the group downsized to nothing at all.
Yeah.
I had one of our. So we're talking about Gen Con. Was this past weekend? Was this past weekend? It's all over now. But it's funny because a couple weeks ago, one of our friends was like, "Oh, just mentioned something about like, oh, give it to Chris. He's going to Gen Con." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
And we had someone in the Discord. It's like, "Hey, Chris, I'm in my room for meetings all day." I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not there.
Yeah. It was funny. Yeah, because it was like everybody else wasn't gonna go. It was like, oh, I thought it was just gonna be you. I was like, homie, I can't afford Gen Con by myself. Oh, that's expensive. So, yeah. Anyways, this is our normal post Gen Con show where we would talk about all the shenanigans that happened on, but we're gonna listen to other people talk about shenanigans or other things. But first things up, we got some news though. So some of this was announced at Gen Con, some of it was announced outside of Gen Con. Either way, I thought some of this stuff was worth talking about. I was actually strangely quieter than I would have expected. Like when I look through the news, and I don't know if it's just my changing tastes in games or maybe just everybody hasn't reported, everybody was too busy being at Gen Con and not writing about Gen Con. Entirely possible. So next week's news or next time's news might be a little bit different. Also, I have to apologize ahead of time of not having guests, but we got into this like everyone prepping for Gen Con and then after, and like no one's gonna talk to me at this point. So hopefully we'll get things figured out soon. But first things first. I don't have a good joke for this one. I just put TI4 looks like TI more. So, table-eating board game Twilight Imperium gets a massive new expansion. Sounds like Twilight Imperium needs to cut back and start counting its calories.
Best part about Twilight Imperium is more Twilight Imperium.
if depending on the expansions, it might need to go on a diet. So, don't you just love when a expansion is $130?
I can't talk.
I'm talking about just base. We're not even talking like Twilight Imperium, a huge 4X space game and household name in the hobbyist board game sphere, has announced a new major boxed expansion. Thunder's Edge will be arriving in October this year, bringing fresh factions, a brand new game mode, and a mechanic built around a powerful legendary planet which can upend the course of a game. The second ever big expansion for the 4th edition of this much acclaimed strategy board game. Thunder's Edge is named after this legendary planet that players can struggle over. It's unlocked via an expedition, where players can pay cost, add different slices to the planet, as you can kind of see here in this little image, like a vast pie. Then once it's complete, whoever controls the most seizes the planet. There you have hefty boons to be gained for holding Thunder's Edge. Then you can take 2 actions a turn. That can be pretty busted. But you also gain your race's breakthrough unique unlock abilities that are another new feature in this box. Other new ways to spice up the game, ranging from event cards that make a big tweak to how it's played to a whole new scenario, Twilight's Edge, where everyone plays a different Manhack Gene Sorcerer King. Include other features, Fracture Space, a strange region that can be unlocked and explored through the course of play, which is full of neutral forces. That kind of reminds me of like the Webway in 40K. or like the warp sort of thing. And 5 extra new factions. So I thought it was weird. It's funny that like TI4, I want to say, when was that? Was that 2018, 2017, 2018? And like
When it first came out?
Yeah,
I
TI4.
thought I heard about it before that.
I mean TI3. I mean, we have the technology. So, you can look that one up but this is only the second expansion, and I 100% like in my heart of hearts believe that this has to do with them leaving that equity firm and going and being owned by Embracer Group now, and then like the splitting off and all that of like TI what?
Nope.
What?
Well, see, the first expansion came out after someone finished their first game.
And now they finally finished the second game.
Now they finally finished the expansion.
Yeah.
So now there's another.
But I feel like Twilight Imperium is one of those games that like it's got a hardcore group of fans, and so like when you look at it compared to like we're gonna make some TCG stuff, like it doesn't make as much sense on a balance sheet to make it. But I feel like we're getting to the era where Asmodee and Fantasy Flight can do more of these types of games. That and the fact that Fantasy Flight doesn't really do much besides Marvel Champions and Arkham Horror. Marvel Champions? What? I was waiting for it.
Find it. I need to hotbar that one. 17.
I was right. Actually, 2017 is probably one of the best years in modern gaming. Because that's when Arkham Horror came out. That's when Gloomhaven came out. That's when Scythe came out. Pretty sure. Scythe might have been 2016. Or it could have been that the Kickstarter was in 2016. But and then Twilight Imperium 4 came out.
It's already out?
What?
This expansion.
Is it? No, this expansion
It's
is
releasing October. Okay, well, because I hopped on Board Game Geek, and somebody has it down as previously owned.
that TI4 or the expansion?
And 5 people say they own it.
Oh,
Yeah, the
well,
Thunder's Edge expansion. I'm like,
releasing October 24th. And it's available for pre-order right now for just a mere $130. And it
But for $250, can you get your name in the book?
Yeah. You know what? If you gave them $250, they might put your name in the book.
In a weird, freaky alien language no one can read.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It does require the base game, but you don't have to have the previous expansion to play. And I might have said, I don't know if I said it or not, there's going to be 5 new factions. One of them has been released so far, The Last Bastion. The Last Bastion. I mean, that looks like I forgot
I
about
only have 2
the
examples at the moment.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of games have been taking things to the edge.
Yeah.
Because like Destiny just released their latest expansion, The Edge of Fate.
And there was
Thunder's Edge.
And then Magic just did The Edge of Eternities.
The Edge of there we go. That's what it was. Yeah, Edge of Eternities.
They got to take it to the edge.
Is this that kind of stream? Can I make that joke? I'm doing it anyway. Everybody's edging.
Everybody's edging. It's okay. I knew where you were going. We're on the same wavelength there.
Just remember, you never finish.
And also, if you're watching the video prior to this, we had a very interesting discussion about this article up here in the corner. It says D&D going all in on the fan service, and the fact that I don't think this author knows exactly what the word fan service means.
I think either. But I opened up the article underneath that.
Oh, the mashup of Lego Star Wars ships.
Because I saw a TikTok and it was like a 6-part TikTok. I probably should have just found the YouTube video or whatever.
Yeah.
But like all the mashup vehicles.
Oh yeah.
It's mostly just taking TIE cockpits and putting them in the place of where, and then doing the reverse.
Yeah.
Like you can see in the picture.
Yeah. I mean, that is the way that the Lego works. DOS
like,
Legos.
tie Y wings, tie B wings.
All right. You ready to move on?
Yeah.
Uh,
There
oh,
it is, that one.
let me actually close out the. I once dated a cryptologist. She was really hard to decipher. So everybody else is doing it. So Monty Cook Games is like, we're going to do it too. New Cypher System Evolved Edition announced for 2026. So Monty Cook prepares to update its Cypher System RPG with the newly announced Evolved Edition coming out sometime in 2026. With the stated goal of that, a crowdfunding campaign on the way before too long. The Cypher System Evolved Edition will update and upgrade the multi-genre RPG in a big way. With flexible characters, expansive settings, and deep GM tools, the Cypher System has a lot to offer. And after a new edition, 12 years after it first debuted with Numenera, we'll shake things up even more with the new set of core books. Yeah, as Rusty Biddle says, for the 30 people that play it. I mean, Cypher's a great system if you're a GM. That's basically anyone I've found that loves playing Cypher System is mostly a GM, and they just kind of also enjoy playing Cypher System. Most of the players that hate Cypher Systems because they're mostly players. But at the same time, I also will say this is one of the systems that's very group dependent, because the two best games I've ever played, the two best RPGs I've ever played in, were both Cypher System games. All right, at the heart of the Kickstarter are 2 core books. So it used to be just one book. It was just the Cypher System core rulebook. Now they're going basically the player guide and the GM guide, where you have the Cypher character rulebook, has all the rules needed to make your own characters across a variety of genres, including dungeon fantasy, epic fantasy, swords and sorcery, hard sci-fi, space opera, cyberpunk, and gritty post-apocalyptic fantasy. And then the GM's guide, which is different tools for GMs, advice on genres, different tools for making your own adventures and campaigns, all the resources you need to make your own specific vision come to life. It says it's supposed to launch into crowdfunding late summer. So that sounds like later this month, maybe? Although I guess technically September would also be considered summer.
With the way everything's shifted.
Well, no, also, like, isn't fall officially in October?
Something like that.
Or is it mid-September? Either way. This evolution builds on the strengths of the existing version. It's fast-paced, ease of GMing, flexibility, narrative focus, and just plain fun. And makes it even easier to use and faster to jump into. Fans of the Cypher System are going to love this new edition, how it makes their favorite game even more accessible. And the power, flexibility, and customization they love isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's getting even better. Players new to Cypher, because that's one of the big changes now, is it's not the Cypher System anymore. It's just Cypher. We'll find it even easier to get into with vivid, memorable characters that are easy to build, fun to play, and never bogged down in needlessly complex mechanics. GMs will find themselves running fun, fast-paced adventures and campaigns that are easy to GM, and which will bring their worlds to life without having to kludge the rules to make them fit. Okay, September 22nd.
Yeah, hang on there, Beetle. Hang on, all right? Because I'm fairly certain I hadn't said that seasonal word yet out loud. I had just heard it through my headphones. I typed official space start space, and it came up with the with the tried, but it was like the weird AI that your phone can give you a little bit.
Yeah.
It was like Friday, June 20 to Monday, September 22.
Yep.
I was like, how did you hear that through the headphones, man?
Apparently.
I know our phones are listening to us all the time.
But now they're listening to the stream.
Yeah. Hey, we've got another viewer. All right.
So where was it? Okay, here's some of the changes that they talk about. Genre specific character creation. So that is something new, because it was wasn't very system specific. There was a couple of unique things that you could do, but it was still very bland, and it was more of like, how do we implement these bland types for specific systems? So that'll be interesting. And then also player character damage, instead of having like in Cypher, it was like you had your different pools of that you used, and that was what you took damage from. But so there's a couple of things in here that like the people I've heard that don't like Cypher are kind of in some of these changes that like I'm kind of like, okay, I kind of want to try. I'll try it out. I may have trouble getting somebody to play it, but I'd try it out. I'd run it. I don't know. I don't know. Remember, you probably don't even remember what your issues were, or probably don't even remember playing Numenera.
I don't.
Yeah, that was so long ago. That was back when the studio was upstairs at the old house.
We have done so much.
I don't know why I remember that. I just remember us playing Numenera back up in the giant master bedroom. All right. Moving on. Some of the musicians at church synced up when they would practice. It was really organized play. So D&D returns to one of its earliest settings by kicking off an organized play campaign at Gen Con called Legends of Greyhawk. So if you're anyone like Beetle in the chat, you hear the word Greyhawk and then you'd be like, what? Because you're talking like old school D&D. So like back before 3.5 when like the Forgotten Realms used to be the setting, the default setting. It was Greyhawk back when like Gary Gygax was, was making a bunch of stuff. So they're kicking off a new organized play campaign at Gen Con this weekend that goes back to the earliest days of the 50-year-old tabletop role-playing game. Legends of Greyhawk promises players less rules, more fun, as they venture through the world designed by D&D co-creator Gary Gygax, which was revived for the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide. Numerous adventures set in different parts of Greyhawk are running through North America's largest gaming convention, which was founded, blah, blah, blah. Players all start at level 1 and will reach level 3 after playing through at least 3 adventures. Players only need to use the free D&D Beyond basic rules to get started, though D&D Beyond account holders will receive special perks like tradable magic items cards. Well, that was kind of cool. It's going to be at several other conventions this year before being made widely available for organized play in 2026. Decisions players make in these early adventures will shape the future of the campaign, which is entering its beta phase. The campaign will grow and evolve based on decisions made at events worldwide, shaping the future of the campaign in the way that the players experience the Greyhawk setting. So I don't know what other conventions are talking about, but I would almost bet money that PAX Unplugged will be one of those. So Philip, we may have to like try and jump in on that for PAX Unplugged.
We may have to.
That sounds like kind of cool.
This was kind of talking about it being in the beta phase and the players affecting the world. It reminded me of the legally distinct Legends of the Five Rings from Darkness Rising.
Yeah. The something of the 9 romances.
The 9 realms.
No, I think it was. I could have swore it was romances. Or it was like Romance of the 9 Kingdoms or something like that. I could have swore Romance was in the name of it somewhere. But anyways.
It does sound right.
Yeah, it sounds like the RPGA during 3rd edition. Yeah, I'm sure this is all like, all the old people are like, yeah, this used to always be a thing. But they're bringing it back. Although the basics rule piece, I feel like that's new. The D&D Beyond basic rules, and then also giving perks if you have a D&D Beyond account holder, which they say account holder. I'm assuming like that also means free accounts, not like the paid accounts, because that could make a big difference. But like, yeah, that's where like your Tomb of Horrors was originally set in places like Greyhawk. A lot of like those original dungeons, those like classic dungeons. Although when I hear like less rules, more fun, I don't know. I was like, are they going to go back to like, are they going to pull like an old school, like an OSR kind of thing and do more old school? sort of like you were going to use D&D basic rules, but trim it back to that style of gameplay. But I don't. No Romance of the Nine Empires. I think that was one of the things I said.
I think you said all of those words.
I did say all of those words. I think I said Romance of the Nine Kingdoms, and then you said Empires. We used to get cards with limited access items or powers on them. They were pretty neat. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. That would definitely get me interested in going to like an official D&D game, other than listening to someone complain about the dealer hall being closed. I think that was the last time. I think that was the last time I played in an official D&D game, like a official organized play D&D game.
We are never ever.
You realize that was 10 years ago? That was our first Gen Con. So that was 2020 or
10 years
2015.
We are never forgetting that guy.
Congratulations, sir. You have given us hours of entertainment.
Oh, it's so great.
So yeah.
I wonder if there can we put out some sort of post on like a Gen Con bulletin board?
Are you this guy?
In 2015, was anyone playing with a game where a guy who got up because the dealer hall had closed an hour before he sat down to play the D&D game?
I mean,
We'd like to interview you for our podcast.
There was this. I bet you could put the story up on Gen Con and someone would be like, "Hey, I know Or you know, what'd be funny is if we found somebody else who was in that game.
Yeah, that's
like
what
not
talk to the other people. At
not
the
the
table.
other guy, not the guy, but other people that were there, and like, yeah, I've talked about this. See, like, do other people talk about that guy as much as we talk about that guy? Speaking of which,
has 3,000 views.
What?
I'll send it to you privately.
Oh, okay. Moving on. Again, it was kind of hard to come up with a specific joke. This next story is pretty batty. So, Warhammer's expansion plans are being thwarted by a tiny bat that won't move out. So, Warhammer's annual report, or Games Workshop's annual report for 2024-2025, revealed the firm's efforts to develop new facilities at its Warhammer World HQ in Nottingham, UK. So they're being delayed by a single tiny bat. According to CEO Kevin Roundtree, a cute little pipistrelle bat is delaying work on a new temporary car park needed to accommodate an expanding workforce. In recent years, GW has increased its manufacturing capability to meet rising demands for 40K and hobby supplies, creating a new facility dedicated to making paint for miniatures, and starting work on a new dedicated packaging plant set to increase in 2026. The firm needs more car parking to meet the increase in staffing and purchased a 31,000 square foot site park opposite one of its existing factories for $2.8 million. However, several laws protect bats in the UK. The Conservation of Habitats and Species regulations mean that it may be a criminal offense to deliberately capture, injure, or kill a bat, deliberately disturb one, or damage or destroy its breeding site or resting place, even if it's not an occupation at the time. And the older Wildlife and Countryside Act means it can be a criminal offense to intentionally or recklessly disturb a sheltering bat or obstruct access to any structure or place it uses to shelter. So its planning documents include an ecological survey of the grounds. The surveys say that an old building on site has external features bats might nest in, though no evidence of nests. The survey gives recommendations on what, 2.8 million? That's like 7 Space Marines. Yeah, pretty much. How to perform demolition in a bat-safe way. Man, hold on. Can't we just marvel at that fraction of a sentence right there? The survey gives recommendations on how to perform a demolition in a bat-safe way. That just sounds like something out of 1960s creature. Batman. Holy bat-safe demolition, Batman! Robin, grab me the bat-safe detonator. And gives the strict order that if a bat is discovered, demolition has to cease. Okay, well this says like it may have to. Where's the actual?
Yeah. I'm like, but my also thing is it. So in the first sentence, a single tiny bat. It's one bat.
Just one bat.
Okay, but then we get further into the article, and it's like, is this a colony?
No, so it must be just one. I think it's just written poorly. I think there's one bat, but they have to, just as a part of their natural planning circumstances, they have to document all these potential areas that bats could be. So, and then it's like, like here, it does not specify that the bat is currently roosting outside or simply a regular visitor. We are carefully looking after the bat. One planning document states that the new car park will have twice as much habitable space for animals compared to the existing site, albeit working from a very low starting amount. Offer a sealed copy of Space Hulk and it'll leave. Here, would you like a share? Bat, would you like a share of? No, actually, like the corporate mindset has activated in my brain, and I'm just like, why don't you just like have you just need a scapegoat where it's like this one guy, like, look, you're gonna take care of you're gonna remove the bat, and then you're gonna get in trouble for it. We will take care of you, but we're just
gonna
need
pay your legal fees.
yeah,
and your
like
fines
we just need you to do it so that we are not legally culpable.
Like they'll have to because they'll have to do some remember in The Wire? Is that the name of that show?
That was the one that was in Baltimore.
Is that with Olivia Munn?
I don't remember. I actually never saw The Wire. I should have.
Is that the name of the show though? Where I think so something like one of the people, they did something, and at the behest of the company, in this same vein of like, hey, we need you to fuck up and fall on your sword, and we will take care of you. So they had to go about this long process that ended with something.
Are you thinking of The Newsroom?
The Newsroom. That's the show. The Newsroom.
Yeah, where she like there was the Fukushima reactor.
No, not her. Not her.
Oh.
It was another guy, because they had to take this long roundabout process to give him the money.
Oh yeah.
To not make it look like a company payoff, and it was like, you have to pay the fine.
Yeah.
So like, we have to write you a check that you have to then put in the bank, and then the bank can give you a cashier's check to give to whoever.
So, I mean, some people may like
Boards and
this.
Swords podcast does not support circumventing of any type of laws in any manner.
No,
whatsoever.
I'm just saying I could see how they would get away with it. That's all I'm saying. I didn't know this. All of Britain's apex predators are extinct.
I believe it.
To the extent that deer populations can only be managed by culling. Predatory bird species are slowly recovering from the effects of now banned DDT pesticides in the food chain. Some species that exist in Britain today, such as the European beaver and the red kite, were extinct in the nation and were only successfully introduced after protection laws and anti-pollution policies are introduced. So if you're sitting there thinking like, this is a lot of stuff for a bat, this is why. You know, that ecosystem.
Bats eat bugs.
The ecosystem be fragile. Yeah, like bats is actually one of those things that you want around. Because it's like you don't like the bugs and mosquitoes, then you want the bats, and the bats will most of the time leave you alone, as long as you don't mess with them. No one knows what it's like to be the Batman.
Your voice is like, you gotta do the growly. No one knows. I'm Batman. I do not have throat cancer.
And if you're then later on in the article, they're like, if you're interested in bats and 40K, check out our section on Night Lords.
I was thinking like, they're gonna hire the bat. That's what needs to happen. The bat is now the new mascot.
They just put
a new faction in
someone
Warhammer.
3D prints a Space Marine helmet for the bat. He gets a little chin strap on it, like cut out the eye hole so it can still see, and like it can still do its echolocation, but like it just like flies around with this like Warhammer helmet on. It's just a cherub. That's all it is. It's just a cherub.
At least it's not a servitor.
Yeah, very much. All right, last story. If you were an Olympic swimmer who became a serial killer, when you passed away, would you be a hell diver? So that joke, this is gonna be a little roundabout, but I will explain it here in a second. But Halo Flashpoint with Mantic Games, they announced that they're going to be doing ODSTs. ODSTs are going to be fallen into Warhammer or into Halo Flashpoint. So I'm not gonna. I'll play the. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna have the trailer running. I'm gonna cut the sound though. But like here, I just like you see this trailer. You see like what looks like a little drop pod. It was really funny because as I was watching this, it really reminded me of like a coalition of different mediums put together. Because like as you're sitting there, like you're watching this and like you get like the background shot of like the minis, which look amazing. You know, but then they get to, let's see, later on here, it's like, oh man, enemy, the landing zone's under control, reinforcements requested, and then you just see like, all right, time to go to them drop pods, and like they get in and they launch these drop pods, and I'm just like, hey, those look very much like, so like you see that and like those look like 40K drop pods. It just hit me how similar those drop pods look to 40K, and then like, then also like the so that was the first thought I had. Then also like as you see the part of the trailer where like they're running to the pods and like getting in, there's music playing in the background that you don't hear, and suddenly like I was fully expecting at this part to go to the bottom of the ship and just to hear dun 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 dun.
Like watching them launch, I was like, that's Helldiver's animation.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, where they just like shoot them out there. I'm like, it just reminded me of like, how Halo ODST was probably very much inspired, or like Halo in general has probably had some inspiration from like Warhammer having it been out first. And then looking even further, how Helldivers was probably very much heavily influenced by ODST. You know, people are already talking about repurposing the minis in Dead Zone. Why? You should just play Halo. It's better. I don't know. I can't say that other than the fact that it's just Halo. And although it uses the Dead Zone rules, I don't understand why, like, if you could play Dead Zone but with Halo, why you wouldn't just play Dead Zone with Halo instead of taking Halo minis and put them in Dead Zone. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Pooping pods. I just want to know, like, we just need them to, like, make an actual drop pod that's, like, maybe it's, like, a terrain piece that you can, like, put on the board. So prepare to drop. Feet First in the Hell is the next major expansion for Halo Flashpoint, introducing the ODST and taking the fight to the streets of New Mombasa. I was actually surprised this wasn't the first expansion. They did those other minis those other aliens that were from Halo Wars, but I think it was to probably push this to Gen Con because that was like your Adepticon release, and they probably wanted this to be a big Gen Con. Banished, thank you. The Banished. I'm assuming that they wanted to save the ODSTs for like their big Gen Con, not necessarily release, but like big push. So, Feet First into Hell. I was really hoping this was going to be a starter box. Like you could pick this up instead of the normal Flashpoint box, but this is an expansion box. So it does say you do have to have some version of the starter box, but you get 16 ODST miniatures. If you pre-order on Mantic Games website, you get limited edition Buck and Dare miniatures, which I remember Buck, but I completely had forgotten who Captain Dare was. Folding game board, which I'm always a fan of, instead of just the paper boards. Full color new Mombasa card terrain, faction themed dice, unit weapon, and special order cards. Tokens and markers, special or desperate measures game expansion booklet. So you can see. If you look on the web, if you click the link in the show notes, you can see all the different ODSTs. So, Philip, for those that may not be familiar with Halo, what is an ODST? I think it's orbital
the official
deployed
orbital drop shock trooper.
There you go. Okay, orbital drop shock troop. There we go.
Orbital drop shock trooper. Yes. And as of right now, they're a Helldiver.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
if you didn't play
they
Halo,
were the Helldivers before Helldivers.
Yes, exactly. This was your average person. This was your average expendable person, not like a Spartan. So that was the weird part about Halo ODST, was that it was such a good game, and I think it did at least very well, despite not actually having Master Chief in it. and it was
Oh
one of
yeah,
those where
definitely.
like
I mean, everyone talks about
they went back to
everyone
having
talks
like
about
the
the
health
ODSTs.
packs and stuff, and I don't think you even had the shields, if I remember right, or if you did, it wasn't as strong. The energy shields in ODST.
Hmm. I don't. I never played ODST, so I don't remember your loadouts.
Blasphemy. Every squad needs a leader or two, so it includes limited edition miniatures of Gunnery Sergeant Buck and Oni Captain Veronica Dare, both scoped in the same Mastercraft resin as Fireteam Phoenix, which is one of the expansions that was out last year, or either beginning of this year. I don't remember which one's. Yeah, so got the cardboard here for New Mombasa. It's got more of that city-esque terrain. Let's see, and yeah, you could pre-order today. It ships in October 2025 for, I believe this is also like $140. For what you get in it, that's not bad actually.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Although you could pay $346, but
to get
that gets
the
you.
whole kit.
I think that gets you everything.
But it just says UNSC Ultimate All-In Bundle.
Looking at the box, hold on. Now I got to see what's this. If it's which box it is. Oh yeah, no, that's the Spartan box. That's the big box that's down here in the corner you can't see.
Yeah. But didn't you say there was a banished pack?
Yes, there was. That's why it's the UN. It's yeah. So you don't get that.
Okay, yeah.
You don't get the was it Rise of the Banished? Still less than a combat patrol box. Indeed. And this gets you enough stuff to play. Like you could probably play multiple people there, especially if you already have the starter set. And there's the War Games expansion pack. I think that's included in that UNSC pack.
Yeah, I saw the color.
And I think I saw, or they actually have an app now. It's a web app for like building your fire teams, because the base game of Halo Flashpoint was very like, here's your team 1, here's your team 2, and there's like, if you got the other boxes, here's the other 2 teams. But as they introduce more and more stuff, and if you got the Master Chief character, you had to use these rules to play Master Chief, where it's like how to custom build your own fire teams, basically. Like I want to use this guy and that guy and that guy all together. So I think you have to use those rules. But the web app helps you with putting all that stuff together. Where did I see they talked about like how they? I thought on this email they talked about not necessarily like how they played. There was just kind of Oh yeah, clad in matte armor, trained for rapid high-risk deployment. They hit the ground hard and fast, armed with science SMGs, demo charges, jetpacks, flamethrowers, and much more. These specialists are conditioned for precision strikes and brutal close-quarters combat. So I'm wondering, because like most of the Flashpoint game sets I've seen are usually like 4 characters, and I'm just wondering like what's going to be different about the ODSTs, because it's like, if I could bring 4 Spartans, why wouldn't I bring 4 Spartans? But
Yep.
I'm wondering if like the ODSTs are going to be more like you want your guys all around each other and like swarm. Like, one of them may not be able to take out like a Spartan, but like if you just like Tyranid horde them basically, and they get bonuses for being around their fellow guys kind of thing. That's what I'm wondering. I still need to paint my Master Chief. But like I'm kind of afraid to paint my Master Chief. Because, like, I want it to be good. Big difference would be the friggin' shields. Yeah. That could be. And then they also have in the train box, where was it? They have these, like, they have that, like, weird little sign things. That detour. I just thought those were
those
fun.
are kind of. Well, I mean, it gives it that aspect of like you're in a
city.
Like
Yeah.
this would normally be like
Instead
an
of it-
information panel.
Yeah, instead of it just being a random battleground that's like ruins. Which that city is kind of like when I think of like Halo, some of the Halo games, I do think of that style of city of like fighting, either that or it's like like Reach driving through all the different different what are they called, forests and stuff.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So that's them's the news. So Phillips, we don't have a guest, so that's the end of the show, right? No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, so Gen Con happened.
Gen Con happened.
And
you were right. It was, and I think your reasoning was correct as well. Like a lot of the creators I follow weren't posting.
Yeah.
Except for today.
Yeah.
When they're posting a whole bunch of stuff, but yeah, like I think everybody was being at Gen Con,
which is fair.
Yeah.
Because I got as a creator that has been
to read the whole thing yet.
As a creator that's been to Gen Con, I will say it does get kind of hard of like feeling this need of like I got to post stuff before everybody else does, and you get kind of pulled out of that kind of experience things in the here and now sort of attitude. It was kind of interesting not going to Gen Con and then just kind of like having to remember every now and then like, oh yeah, Gen Con's happening right now. When it'd be like Thursday, like, oh, the vendor hall's already opened. I actually
seeing posts. I saw the creator, owner, person in charge of D20 Burlesque. Like she put up a thing and it was like, hey, at 9 p.m. tonight, just come with a bunch of generics.
Oh yeah.
People always never show up, so you can probably get in.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely I had the same, my brain did go through exactly what Eric was talking about last week, where it was like I had that moment of FOMO and then I saw the lines of people to get into there and stuff, and hearing people talk about like I was like, oh man, there's Gundam promos, because they were showing off. Like you'll see a lot of some of the videos I have here where they have the front of the convention center. You'll see the generic or the Welcome to Gen Con. It's a Gundam card game banner, and they had promos there, like unique promos, and there was even like a resource pack where the different resources were the different factions that you could get.
I did see that one. Yeah.
So I did have that kind of FOMO, but like for the most part, I was just kind of like, hey, my wallet feels heavier.
Yeah. Well, actually, that 10 resource card pack is being sold in the playmat and box thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we might be able to get that at Unplugged. If they're selling it there.
Maybe. If they're going to be there. I haven't looked to see which.
If they're going to be there.
I need to see, because I think we can apply for passes and stuff now.
Ah.
But you know what? I figured so I had the idea, and it was just like, you know what? TikTok's a thing, right? And so I just went on, and other creators. Let's not do the full. Let's have the other creators get away with just showcasing TikTok content and reacting to it. So I figure, why not? Why can't we get it? Why can't we get in on that?
Yeah, we got to get our slice of that pie.
Yeah. So this isn't going to be straight. The camera's struggling with Phil's chair. I love the camera's like your chair's like ghosting in the background. You go back too far, you'll disappear. We still need to get you a setup for all the gunpla in the background.
We do.
We just need to get you that like perfect grade 00 that you can just have like posed in the background.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
So speaking of which,
I'm gonna wait for the perfect grade unleashed.
Patreon.com. No, I'm just kidding. But Philip, just Beetle, bear with me, all right? We're not gonna just straight play the videos. In fact, some of it is like, because the audios doesn't always come through the greatest. But some of these some of them I listen to. I've watched all these videos, so I'm not gonna be. It's not gonna see the like reaction, that kind of thing. Some of it's gonna be for Philip. But there's also all of these. I had something. They either showcase something funny, or I had a funny reaction or thought about them. So the first one here, Philip, I want you to describe like what is happening in this video.
Oh well, I mean, that's a soap dispenser.
So apparently there was a
or hand sanitizer. But the song title gave it away.
Yeah.
Don't poop on me, pigeon.
Yeah. It's a pigeon that poops out the soap or hand sanitizer. And I just thought I mean that's not Gen Con specific, but I thought it was funny. All right, this one I have to play.
I mean, some people do that with like toothpaste.
This story was just hilarious.
Gen Con's had street preachers outside their con every year. I think that's the most con thing. It's always kind of interesting, but I've had weird encounters with him this year. The gimmick this one was doing was he had a speaker and a microphone. He was talking to people as they walked by. It was whatever. But then he had a little girl just walking up and giving people cards and saying Jesus loves you. It was kind of cute. But anyways, she does this to my wife, and my wife's like, "Oh, thank you," and she keeps walking, and then I come to her expecting one, and she literally recoils and starts walking away from me. This was my fit. I guess she did not appreciate the Columbo coated outfit I had. So in that moment I had to accept Jesus apparently only loves my wife, and as we walk a little further away, I'm like, "Hey, what's the card say? I gotta know." And my wife's losing her mind because she flips it up. It's like, it's a pamphlet for blood pressure. It's nothing about Jesus.
So I just thought that was funny. Where it was like, also he showcases later in here. He's talking from his Airbnb, and there's like a shed with like a weird chair in it.
Ominous chair in the back shed. That's all. A minute, yes. I just want to show off that our Airbnb just has this very.
Yeah, it was just like a chair sitting open in this shed.
Why is the cuck chair way over there? Have you seen that lady on TikTok?
I don't think I have.
Probably not. But I guess she has to travel for work a lot. But she judges the cuck chair in the hotel room.
Oh yeah. Oh, this guy they're talking. So I thought that was just showcasing like some of the old TCGs. I didn't need to grab that. This one I thought was funny because it's just like, how empty is this hall? Like you can tell that this is like while everybody's setting up, and also the fact that it was made 5 days ago. But like you will never see the Gen Con hall that empty, and there's just a dude rolling around on skates. Oh, yeah. So this one was funny. It's a video. He's like, TCG players, I need your help. We're here learning playing Lorcana. But like if you freeze frame the video, and he's like, I don't know how to play, and look at the cards, like there's a Gundam card right there in the
Oh, there's a Gundam card.
There's a Gundam card.
That's
There's a
magic land.
Full art magic land. There's a magic character.
That's a divider.
Yeah, there's a card divider. You know, so he's like, I don't know what I should play next. Like, and it was just a bunch of
Play
different.
Pot of Greed. So you want to play that mountain, except to play Jabba the Hutt in defense mode.
Oh, are you talking about the comments in the corner there?
The comments, yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
those are gold too.
Play Pot of Green. Just drop that blue eyes and sacrifice it to Teobald. I ended up getting a couple of videos from this guy. They're finally making a Transformers card game in 2028. Which I thought was funny, because the fun part is they did make a Transformers card game back in like 2016. Like that, this thing has already existed. I'm looking at by the way, this was Low Level Adventures. Or some of these videos, the more hilarious ones. Hasbro had a Transformers TCG, and like they did not do anything with it. Like, I remember, let's see, it would have had to have been after 2017, because I was in my MWA class. Or, excuse me, MWA. That would have been a fun class. My MBA class, and it was like a marketing class, and it was talking about like showcases of product synergy or something, and I just did like a whole report talking about how Hasbro should have been like giving away starter decks and promo cards. This was when Bumblebee came out, and they had the Transformers TCG, and you should have been giving out like free demo decks to everybody that went to play Bumblebee or went to the movie Bumblebee. I'm like, why did you not do that? And then lo and behold, the Transformers game folded because no one bought it.
You didn't hype it up, guys. You gotta.
Which it had some cool mechanics, because like the cards, like they flipped So like they would like one side was the bot form and one side was the
vehicle form.
vehicle form, and then the combiners would then like open up to be like the large form. Like it had like folding cards. So like Devastator, you would have like one side, the other side, and they would open up to be like alt form. Yes, thank you. Here's the thing: a card. Look how freaking. I feel like I've not seen Card Holla ever this huge before.
Oh wow.
Like there's like that looks like a model of the Empire State Building in the background.
It does. That is wild. There's a video of somebody on the walkway overlooking it.
Yeah.
There's a little like 3-inch ledge.
Yeah.
Just far enough where you can't read. They dropped their badge.
I did see that. I
was like, that's.
Oh, that was like. Oh, that was somebody being like, "Oh, look, it's the last day of Gen Con. I didn't spend any money." And then it's like, "No, I didn't." And then he's got like ears on in the background, like, "No, those are natural." Let's see, what did I grab? This. Oh, that was just the Chili Con Carnage was the pizza this year. Let's see. Some of these I don't remember why. Oh, I remember why I grabbed this one.
5 days notice, and we have learned the most amazing thing, which is that. Hello, everybody. My girlfriend and I went on a last-minute trip to Gen Con. We planned it on like 5 days notice, and we have learned.
First of all, who plans to go to Gen Con on 5 days notice? Like, yeah. They sold out of tickets. I'm sure maybe they sold out of 3-day pass or the multi-day passes, and they
said they sold out of 4 days, so you had to buy
4-day
each day
passes.
individually.
So they probably just bought like just the days they went to, but like. Yeah. Clearly, this has to be somebody that lives in the nearby area, because like nobody, unless like Rusty Beetle said you have lots of money, nobody just decides, hey, there's this large gaming convention, on the other side of the country. We should go. It's this week. But I digress.
The most amazing thing, which is that Indiana tap water is the most vile substance on this planet, okay? Shout out to the Indiana Water Authority for passing liquefied ass by the EPA. And I do not say this lightly. I have been different states, different countries. I am always...
Philip grabs the Brita pitcher. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've traveled to like different places and such, but I'm like, who drinks straight tap water?
Yeah, like,
where do you live that you can just drink straight tap water?
That was the first thing. That was the first thing you and I both did.
Yeah.
When we got back from PAX East 2014, ran straight to Walmart and got the filtering water bottles.
Yeah. Uniquely tough swallow is what they called me in college. Central Indiana tap water is like 95% hard minerals. Yeah.
It probably uses as an abrasive mouthwash. That's awesome.
Yeah, speaking of someone from Indiana, yes, says Rusty Beetle in the chat. So, yeah, that was like, I just saw that the rest of the video was just him complaining about the tap water, but I was just like, bro, also, great job on your nails. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, so this video, so I'm not even, I'll just talk about it. It's just it's the creator of, so this interview, it's Playtest Official. That's the TikTok here, but it's the creator of Kingdom Death Monster, the big game Kingdom Death Monster, and it's just him talking about like, oh, is that Adam Poots? Is that who that is? Talking about how he came up with Kingdom Death, and he's like, well, I wanted to play RPGs, but like my friends didn't want to, like, none of them wanted to run or DM or anything, so I knew if I wanted to play, like, it had to play itself and stuff like that. So, and he's talking about how the deck design developed, and he's like, and that's how I created the genre. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure the Dungeon Delve board game existed long before it was your game came out. Considering like they come out with like releases that only like you want to talk about people with money. Like the starter box for for Kingdom Death Monster is like $500. So like, homie, Zombicide was a thing well before Kingdom Death Monster was a thing. That just screams of like, I didn't know anything about gaming until I decided to make this game, and I made a really expensive game that people spend a lot of money for, and so I could afford to not pay attention to anything else going on in gaming because I got all this money from these people based on... I mean, the minis are awesome. I will say that. Yeah, $400. I guess it could be $500. I was just spitballing. So, but that was just... I thought that interview was just kind of crazy. This one I just wanted to show like... This was the moment that all my FOMO went away of just seeing the running of the nerds.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was after press badges didn't get you in that hour
yeah,
early
but even
anymore.
then, that was so much stress. Like, well, you get to get in free. Like, yeah, but also it meant being there at like 5 a.m. on Thursday to like be there 2 hours before the thing opens so that you had a chance because it's only the first 100 people. And I know that probably sounds like complaining, but it's just, I remember those first couple of Gen Cons by the time you got to Friday, and I'm just like, dragging. Because that's when we would do like day trip or we would drive up and or drive out there in just one day.
Yeah. That was it. And what was it one of our 5 a.m. line hops where the guy number 1 who had a chair because he stole it from somewhere. He's like, "Oh yeah, I drove in last night."
Yeah. I haven't slept.
I've been here since like 10 p.m.
Yeah. Like I haven't checked into my check-ins are today later on. Like I haven't checked into a hotel yet. I just slept here.
The one thing that I will say Gen Con has done right all the time. Okay, and I can't even... This was just our experience going. Was like the Will Call opened at noon on Wednesday and stayed open.
Yeah, it's still that case.
Until 6 p.m. on Sunday. It was
okay.
Great.
I couldn't remember why I put this video in, and then it showed this shot of the scene. All right. This guy was the annoying guy with the... Because you got to imagine, like, look how high up this camera is on the floor. Like, he's got to be that guy that's got, like, a giant pole attached to him. And, like, this guy is that guy that's just, like, a walking disaster. Because, like, there's... Like, that camera probably could have gotten... There's chances that camera could have gotten hit in all sorts of stuff. Or it's like, yes. You're the guy. The people, like, that are just... You know, they bring... Or there was the one year I saw where they had there was one person that had the rolling tripod that they were just rolling to all their interviews, but the thing took up like half the aisle. I'm like, listen, man, I'm a video creator and I fold that crap up and walk with it. If I can do that, you can do that, and stop taking up so much space. There is very limited aisle space here. What in the world are you talking about? What in the world are you doing?
One year, I was the cart.
Oh.
Demonstration!
It was like a durability demonstration with these lightsabers.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, and then hit them together.
But he's like instructing people. It's like, you have to hit them together and scream. No. The one dude where he's...
Yeah, and then hit them together.
Like, just him explaining to the one guy, like, you gotta hit them together. Like, that was just my favorite thing of like, what? Like, everybody else is all in on the bit, but that one guy's just like, Sorry, I found that official. Here's your standard.
Lizard, 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 lizard.
Like Philip, I could pause the video. Or I could have like taken the visitor down and just played that sound for you. And what would you think and you could probably tell me what the caption for that was.
Oh, it was like Gen Con and somebody hitting the lizard, and it that would be just like, so it was my wife with her card, and you're like, me as I'm walking down.
I
the
saw,
aisle.
yeah, there was like this was the first one I saw. I saw another one later on that was the same concept where somebody was like me every time I passed a game at Gen Con. Yeah, Rusted Beatles says everyone failed their dex check. Oh, this was what they're talking about, like so Jason,
life-size Catan or just regular Catan?
just regular Catan, but all the different
Catan.
all the different Catan stuff. And like, hold on, I gotta pause. Like some of the, like, there's the, dang it, it went too fast. Let's see if I can capture it this time. There, it's the 3 wolves on the moon shirt, but it's all sheep, and it says Catan. I love this. This is great. Why did they not have this at any of the Catan booths I went to the previous Gen Cons? Like, there's just like Catan Island, Surf Club, Cat on instead of Catan, like Cat-tan. The plushies, that's not new. But like, and then like the cookbook, I've seen that cookbook before, magnets. But I just saw those shirts and I was just like, holy shit! Like they had things for your what are they called? The shoes. What was the thing? I have them. They're right there.
The Croc ornaments?
Crocs. Yes, Crocs. They have the little Croc giblets or whatever they're called. I need to show that Ashley. Ashley would probably want those. She loves the giblets. Oh, and also probably because they're doing the whole, was it Catan like 6th edition or whatever? Yeah, there's the little giblets. Oh, here, this is the kind of stuff I was talking about with the backpack. It's like the guy walking around. It's like, oh, look at this, bonk, knocks the guy out. Those kind of bags need to be forbidden at Gen Con.
They did forbid carts.
They did forbid carts this year, but like,
and they started enforcing it.
Yeah, apparently. Ashley came in. I was seeing if she had her headphones on. I was going to tell her about the Croc giblets. So yeah. Watch when you turn, or here's a better tip: don't wear the giant backpacks.
Yeah, that's there.
I mean, I know some people.
So
some gibbets. Sorry, not giblets. Gibbets.
Gibbets.
Some people do wear them for like, this is what I'm loading in all my purchases in. I mean, I guess that's.
Well,
but I would just always like.
But,
I would just never. I would wear them when I was leaving the con. While I was in the con, I would have that like in my hand so that I could set it down and not like hit people.
And minimize your footprint.
Yeah, exactly.
But apparently the bag. I sent you this post in Discord. One of the things I saw a lot of people talking about. There was a weird vibe at Gen Con.
Really?
And no one could. You're like, it was like everyone still had an amazing time, but there's this weird
Was
feeling.
it the carts?
No, not the carts or anything. Or it was just a lot of people are commenting on like there was just this feeling in the air.
Really?
Yeah, of like no one. It wasn't a bad smell. It wasn't a noise. It was just,
Right.
everyone just had this like something's off.
Ah. I mean, that's entirely possible because I know there's a lot of people that pulled out, especially given all the tariff pieces and all. Just everything going on, people not wanting to travel to the U.S., understandable, that sort of thing. But that's interesting. I did see oh my gosh, I saw a bunch of posts. If you see a weird vibe at Gen Con, don't pick it up. See a weird vibe, pick it up, and all the Gen Con you'll have sickness. Lizard. I saw an article on the Gen Con subreddit where somebody was talking about, I think it was their, I don't know what they were talking about as far as, I don't remember how many Gen Cons they've been to, but they go only for like RPGs. It's the only reason they go is to like play a bunch of different RPGs. And they were talking about like all the different times that like GMs that they showed up for games they paid for, like decent amount. You've seen how much Gen Con RPG seats go for, 15, 20 something bucks, and like GMs not showing up, or people showing up that like didn't know how to play the games that they were supposed to be running, and like or just like reading straight from the adventure and just not really and you read further down there, and apparently it was like a lot of it was centered around Magpie Games, who we had some of them on here talking when we were talking about Rapscallion and such, where it was like apparently Magpie Games is very familiar with like booking way more events than they have actual GMs for. And then I saw another comment, no idea if this is true or not, where they were talking about how like Magpie Games lost like 23 GMs like right before the con started, which I'm like, how does that happen? Which was like literally the next comment was, how does that happen? Like there, I think the quote was, it was like, what vessel did the bottom fall out of for that to happen? Yeah, so it's just like they had a bunch of events and just didn't have the people to support it at the last moment, which fair, but I feel like at that point you cancel the events and give people back their money instead of like people showing up. You can message everybody on the thing and just cancel an event. And sure, I'm sure they'll be mad, but I think they'll be less mad than when they show up and nobody's there, or they, there's a story there.
Then they also lose the time slot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They can't schedule anything else. But I will say that if you ever find yourself in that sort of boat, one of the things that was highly promoted in that thread, people are like, because they were talking about how like they weren't, most of the times when they were free, the exhibit hall was closed, or they didn't feel like going to the exhibit hall, and they didn't know a lot, like they go there, they don't know a lot of people that are there, so it's not like they're meeting up with others. So it's like they felt bad just going back to the hotel whenever they weren't playing games and like trying to find stuff to do. And several people commented underneath, it's like, you need to check out Games on Demand, and just like talking about that. And it just seemed like the perfect kind of solution for this specific person. But I'm just bringing it up to kind of talk about it there, where it's like Games on Demand. I think it's like one, they were talking about it's like one generic, and they do 2-hour blocks. Like, so it's like every 2 hours is a new thing starting. And it's just like GMs running whatever game they want. And it's just like you show up, you get a letter, and then like when they call your letter, you go sit down at a table. You're playing whatever it is, but like if you just like playing TTRPGs and you don't necessarily care, and I think it's one of the rules is you can't run D&D or Pathfinder. I think that's like a rule for this, is what they were saying. So like if you don't want to play in those kind of like giant organized play for Pathfinder or D&D, or you want to try something new, and those people are, committed to being there. So it's usually like if they're going to run a thing there, and they're a part of that Games on Demand, then they want to stay there. So they want to be good at it, and they're running whatever game they're comfortable with. So you're not going to get like, hopefully, a crappy. I mean, there's always that possibility, but it's got to be better. And even if it's bad, you're only out 2 hours.
Yeah. And
it's just generics. So you're out $2. If it's just one generic, then you just lost $2 is what you for if you end up having, if you had a bad experience, as Philip would say. Oh, so this was okay. So this video here, hold on, I gotta pause it at the right spot. There. Oh, can I get, nope, maybe? I need to like frame by frame. I need to be able to like frame by frame this. Okay, so they're talking about the line here, but like if you look at the hallway, it's like empty over here on the side. I don't care what this actual video is about, all right? They're talking about the League TCG, but it's during, so my first thought was like, I saw like this aisle over here is like, there is standing room over here. So I was like, this has to be when the exhibit hall is closed. But then when you watch the rest of the video and they pan back, there's a line inside the exhibit hall. So this has to be during when it's open. And I'm like, what time during the day is there this much open area in the exhibit hall? Like that's where so it just kind of when you were talking about the weird vibe, I was just that kind of, I don't know if it's just they staged everything a little bit differently, or maybe this is just down one of those aisles where the aisle ends at a weird angle, so maybe not as many people are going down. But like, I didn't even watch the rest of this video. I just saw the first like 3 seconds, and I was like, I need to talk about this. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So Phil, hold on. So Philip, describe this next TikTok here.
Okay.
So, so the video starts with the just
seeing the rarest sight at Gen Con this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lady wearing glasses.
Yep.
It's
So
in the daytime because there's blue sky behind her.
Yep. What do you imagine she's gonna say is the rarest sight at Gen Con?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a BMW using a turn signal. Because that'd be really big inside the. Well, she's outside, so
She's
it
outside.
could be on the. I mean, it'd be a BMW on the sidewalk.
Yeah. My first thought was like a guy wearing deodorant. The steak
that's where I was going. I was like, somebody
Steak and Shake is
showered.
empty. Actually, the Steak and Shake's gotten a lot emptier now that they have the like order kiosk, and they switched to not being like the sit down and like I take your order, where it's the go to the either place the order at the register or go and order the food at the kiosk and then go sit down and wait for it to kind of like they moved to a Panera style approach.
Okay.
And you get people in and out of there faster.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
But no, the rare sight at Gen Con this year
Okay.
it was an empty seat.
Oh, an empty seat. Okay.
An actual place to sit down.
Oh.
Because I don't know if you remember, especially like back when the streets were where the food trucks were on the street instead of now. I don't know if they were this year also. Probably because I think they're still doing construction where they're in the lot.
They were somewhere
behind.
over by Lucas.
Yeah. But now, like when they were in that front street, like you could not find a place to sit down and eat.
Nope.
Like you were pretty much like most of the time I was like eating my Steak and Shake as I'm walking back to the convention center. That was the good thing about when it was back there behind by Lucas Oil is that you were right there out in front of Lucas Oil. You just grabbed the food, walk into Lucas Oil, and sat in the seats.
And so many. Well,
There
I mean,
were-
people were
there were a
talking
lot
about
of
that,
seats.
so it's the same thing this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying I wasn't there to physically see it. That's why I
That's
said.
right, that's right.
So, this one I have to play sound. So it's apparently a musical dice tower where I don't know if these are special. Oh no, they're not special dice because there's another video. So there's like the xylophone keys. So instead of how a dice tower works, where it's got the wooden blocks that like make them hit and roll. So they replaced those with like xylophone keys.
Let's go.
So it's like a magical.
Didn't come through.
Oh, it didn't come through? Oh. Oh
Nope.
well. All right. That was the last video I had. So like I did, it was a bunch of just fun, quirky stuff I saw, and a lot of it, as you could tell by some of it, it wasn't even the video itself. It was just, it was just like something I saw in the video that I was just like, wait a minute. So yeah, like a thumb piano. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I missed the comment. Catan, like D&D, is now a brand more than a game. Yeah, but like, unlike D&D, Asmodee recognized that like right after the fact. That's probably one of the reasons they bought Catan. Is they were like, we can brand this out and make a bunch of money off of that. So, unlike D&D, though, also I would venture Catan makes more money out of the actual product than I would imagine D&D does. Because, if I like Catan and I show it to you and you like Catan, but I'm not around, you'll end up buying your own copy of Catan. Versus like, how many times you're going to play D&D where I'm not involved? Possible, but not 100%.
Not 100%.
So, I think that's good. Let's not extend out the stuff here. I'm gonna go ahead and play the music here. I think we discussed enough about Gen Con.
We did.
For
We
people
discussed.
for people having not been there.
And that's been our show.
Oh my gosh! Although one last thing before I flip, I have to say before I close this thing, somebody commented on here that said that they need to change the keys on this dice tower to never give you up.
Yep.
And then the person commented, "You win." So sorry, I could. That seemed like the best place to end the show there.
There we go. That's been our show. We want to thank Beetle for hanging out with us, checking us out, and putting up with all our shenanigans. Everybody out there, if you like what you see, what you hear, you got to check us out. BoardsandSwords.com. You go to /live, and then that gives you the links to our streaming channels, which we were on 2 channels today.
Yeah.
We were on the Tube and Twitch.
Coming soon. Could be Facebook, YouTube. That with this or Facebook, TikTok. My goal is if it's got a streaming platform, it's really not that hard with this new server. I just put in a new line. The harder part is actually getting the
them all.
The harder part is really getting the chats so that I can comment when people see.
Sync them all. Yep. But we'll work on that. You got to check us out, boardandswords.com/live. It's got the link to the streaming channels. Patreon.com/boardandswords. You can help support our shenanigans.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'm going to start a site now called Only Puns. Thanks to Roasted Beetle for that idea. Also, Nova Open. I keep forgetting to bring this up, but we are under a month. No one's going to show up at our show because I keep forgetting to promote it. But Thursday of Nova Open, I believe it is 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. I believe it's the 28th. At 8 p.m. We're going to be doing it. So Thursday at 8 p.m. of Nova Open, we're doing a live show at Nova Open. So if you're going to be there, you need to get a ticket. It's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. I'm probably going to have some sort of giveaway there. If I can't get somebody to give me stuff, I will use my own money and have at least a gift card or something. So it's your promise you're at least going to have the possibility of walking away with $20 of stuff.
That's right.
It's more than what it costs for the ticket, which is $0. All right. I made a short link, boardandswords.com/Nova Open. We'll take you right to the tabletop event site where you can get a ticket. I will try and stream the show live there. You won't be eligible for the giveaway then. But I don't know how internet's going to be, and especially with new phone and stuff. So don't know. So you need to go and actually do it. I keep forgetting to promote it. I'm gonna write it in the show notes so I do it at the very top of the show next time. Only $300 of fuel for a $20 giveaway. But the experience is priceless. And that's where we're going to stop here. I'm going to say thank you, everybody, for watching. Boardandswords.com for everything. And remember that every gamer is a story, but the experience is priceless.